start that too. All right, for this question and answer, just a couple of brief announcements on the forums. And one is that each day the mods are briefed to answer the day's questions first, and then they get around to answering. There are a lot of, obviously, matrix type records, and that's very important for people to, submit those, and you're doing them in the right way. You're providing your own information, but you've got to understand that the mods need to get the priority of working with what's going on in that particular day's traffic. So there we have it. Okay. So that's it. Oh, now questions. There's no questions? Really? Good. You're all good. Okay. Here we are, WordPress Direct. And what I want to do now is I'm going to don headphones and we'll bring in Marty. Marty, if you make sure you pause your broadcast, and we'll call you in. Great to have Marty with us on the broadcast today. Just have to ring. Hey, Marty, how you going? Very good. It's a bit smoother this year. Hang on, we can do a photo of you. Let's not be it all about me. Hang on, where are we? That one, and then I choose that one, then I choose that one. Oh, no, not that one. That one. No, not that one either. There we are. Here we go, mate. There we are. So there's Marty. So yeah, so it's thank you so much for being such a huge support with WordPress Direct this year, and I think with the changes that we've made in the entire process, I think everybody is, just really everything is going much more smoothly. So I'm thrilled about that. So thank you very much. Which is great. So now, got a couple of WordPress Direct questions here, and let's have a look. With the WordPress Direct themes, how easy is it to integrate your own graphic? For example, replace a picture of a car with a truck. Oh, hang on. Why is that? Oh, hang on. Sorry. I forgot one thing. Darn it. Just one little thing. I forgot one thing, and it causes everything to go. Now talk, Marty.
Can you hear me now?
Woo. Yep. No trouble at all. So very good. Sorry about that. So just let me re-ask that question. It was, with WordPress Direct themes, how easy is it to integrate your own graphics, i.e. replace a picture of a car with a truck?
It depends on the theme, and it depends where the picture is. If it's pictures in the header, you generally can replace that image, but you usually have to use FTP, and sometimes it's complicated.
Yeah.
If the picture's in the body of a post, it's generally a lot easier.
Did you, through the year, did you incorporate the ability for you to upload your own theme inside WordPress
Yes,
Direct? Do you want to explain
yes, we
how
did.
that works? Because that may even be a better way of answering that solution.
I'm getting an echo,
You
pretty
might have,
bad echo.
it's fine for broadcast.
I
You
can
just
barely hear myself.
take your headphones off when you're answering.
Okay. All right. So this year we in a few months ago we had implemented some stuff called the My Files feature, which just allows access to upload all sorts of things, be plugins or themes or other files to your blog, and you'll see that on the right-hand sidebar when you're in your WordPress Direct account. If you click on My Files, just three different areas, and whenever you're going to upload those things need to be set, and depending on what you're uploading, it's a plugin or a theme. The instructions will be right in the upload. tell you what you need to do that WordPress Direct knows exactly how to, and where to put it on the blog.
Yeah, I think that's a really great feature that you added this year. So, you know, if you're using WordPress Direct a lot, and you really should be using WordPress Direct a lot, I use it every second day. And the way that I'm using it is when I want to test a phrase, I'm buying a domain name, throwing up a WordPress Direct blog, and seeing if I can make it bite. Now, the corollary to that is once you are in your niche, you probably want to look at absolutely getting your own themes designed and having your own look and feel, so it's not like just a standard template. It also gives you some other controls and so on, and there are heaps of people that do WordPress themes. You can go to 99 Designs, or Elance, or any of those places to get more of these types of things designed. So I think that's a really big feature. I think that really works. Now, let me have a look. Okay, now, what happens if you opt out of WordPress Direct, Marty? Do you lose your content?
No, you do not. Um, I'm not sure what it means. What we're doing is we're giving everyone a trial, and that lasts 40 days. And at the end of that trial, it will convert itself to be a free account, and all of the stuff will remain as it is.
Yeah, because it's really an instant once your blog is up, and that's one of the reasons we made the major change between this year and last year from a 30-day challenge perspective. Is last year we had some free hosting and free subdomains, and we always said, Marty, that this was a temporary solution. That if you found that your website was working and you got traffic, you really should get your own domain and your own hosting. And what we've formalized that this year, and there are many reasons for that. But I think you're building an asset, and once you've installed the 30-day challenge, you've done your WordPress Direct blogs. After the fact, if you decide not to go ahead with it, and you decide that you want to pursue a career in underwater kickboxing or whatever it happens to be, then you can sell those and you can make those available, and they don't disappear. You are not locked in to WordPress Direct. Marty wouldn't do that to you. We wouldn't do that to you. It doesn't make sense. Next question: Why WordPress Direct instead of plain WordPress? Do you want to take that, Marty?
Sure. Well, there's a couple things. Mainly, and people ask me this all the time, what's the difference between WordPress and WordPress Direct? Well, WordPress is just a piece of software that people use for blogging. It's the most common blog platform on the internet. And WordPress Direct it's an installation and maintenance service for WordPress. And the main difference between the two is that WordPress Direct takes WordPress and adds a bunch of search engine optimizations so that it ensures the blog rank well for the competition band phrases used in the 30-day challenge. And it also provides some things as far as optimizing the blog for marketing, so that you can talk about a product or a service on that blog and have it set up to be a conversion mechanism for actually selling that product or service. And this year we actually did some integration work with Market Samurai to enable that second sort of marketing portion even more fully.
Ooh, you're talking about day 7. Some day 7.
Yeah, we won't tip the hat too much there, Ed.
No, don't reveal.
No.
We've got to say something. But it's the other reason for me, the big reason is all the time that Marty and Guru Bob spent in planning out WordPress Direct to make sure it's optimized for Google. And the classic example of that is, and I always get a kick out of it, is Vintage Electric Guitar from last year, Marty. It's still kicking along in #1 spot.
Yeah, and that's the main thing. It's I spent a lot of just getting that right, And it's just simply a matter of you can do it yourself. I even posted the list of all the plugins on the 30-day challenge forum for those people who really want to sort of learn how to SEO blog themselves. But there's a lot of time and heartache there. If you get something wrong, you could mess it up and then not get ranked. Sort of that's the whole point of the challenge, is to not worry about the technical stuff and actually just test out your market.
Exactly. Could you do it all yourself? Absolutely. You absolutely could. Me personally, I'd just rather have a button pressed and have a blog in 10 minutes. That's sort of the way that I like the idea of it. Question here. Marty, I already had an account and couldn't access the free trial deal or the content links. Message said I needed a paid account.
I'm not sure where you saw that message. Whether or not you have a current WordPress Direct account or not, you go to the page that is the first video of today, day 6,
Yep.
and you go to that link, which is pc.wpdirect.com. There's a blue button in there to get to the trial page. If you click that, you'll see the page that describes all of our accounts, and then there's a huge orange button on the bottom that says click here to get your free 30-day trial.
Yep.
And whether you have an account or not, you can go through that process. If you currently have a free account, press that button. It will give you the bronze account for 40 days for free. We don't care whether you have an account right now or not, and we're not going to ask you to pay.
That's brilliant. Yep. So there's your answer to that. Just go to the link that was it's in the resources section today on day 6, and that will get you. Now, another question is, I have an existing blog and I've been using Jeff Johnson's traffic getting plugin set, which Ed recommended on Twitter some time ago. Should I stick with a free SEO package, or do I need WordPress Direct? The answer is both. You should use both plugins, and in fact, there's a very cool plugin that Dan Rain's been working on, which I won't talk about during the challenge, obviously. That's the beauty of WordPress Direct, or WordPress, the platform, is that it's very extensible. It's a very open platform, so you can add all sorts of different plugins that will help. I think the core thing that WordPress Direct does is it sets up the structure of your site perfectly for what Google wants. And there's a lot of, and you take that and you add that to the way we teach you to search for your key phrase and your category phrases, and you're putting every single thing possible in your favor, if that makes sense. Okay. Marty, maybe you can answer this. What's the differences between WordPress Direct.com and .org?
WordPress Direct. I'm sorry, Ed.
What's the difference between WordPress Direct?
Are you saying WordPress.com and WordPress.org? Because there is
Correct.
no WordPress.org.
Oh, is there? I don't know. But the point is, I think, just taking up the answer on that, WordPress.com is WordPress free blogging platform. You've got to be very careful how you use that, because they have very strict rules about the type of linking and the types of things that you can do that. In fact, somebody in the chat could probably remind me. I'm not sure if we actually showing that this month or not. I can't remember. I'm blank. Next question, which is a really good one. Is our theme for something like a movie, for example, and we are selling related products, what are the trademark issues you recommend we watch out for? That is an absolutely great question. And it's a real issue, okay? You are treading on extremely thin ice if you are basing your keywords, your blogs, and so on around trademarked terms. Now, it's not the place for the 30-day challenge to provide legal advice, but I would beg of you, remember our spectrum. Okay, remember our spectrum. If you're at level 1 and you're just starting out, please stay right away from trademark terms. Okay, just stay right away. If, on the other hand, you're a level 10 Eat Ed Dale for breakfast on internet marketing, then you know what you need to do and you get the appropriate legal advice and all those sorts of things. For the purposes of the challenge, I would really, really, really recommend you stay away from trademark terms, because it's just, there's nothing that ruins your day, particularly if you're not used to it, than getting a cease and desist letter. You do not want it. And you do not want to do that. So just, be careful. Let's have a look. I'm just going through, Marty, to see if there's any more WordPress. I think we answered that.
I've got a few of them written down.
Cool. Well, do you want to tackle a couple that we haven't talked about?
Sure. There was one I saw about can you import an existing WordPress blog into WordPress and use it in the challenge? And yes, you can. On today's training page, day 6, let's see. The first video was the introduction, how to sign up. Second video was how to install the blog. Third video was how to do your first piece of content. And then the fourth video is how to import and upgrade if you have either an existing WordPress blog or you have an existing blog from last year's 30-day challenge and you want to apply all of the new stuff that we've done over the course of the year so that you can use it again in this year's challenge. So go to that fourth video, which is on upgrading. There's a section in there on importing. I show you where the import function is, and it's fairly simple. You just click on it and tell it where your blog is, and then it'll pull it in.
Very cool. Now,
there was another one.
Just while you're looking at that other one, I just want to jump in.
I'll say
sorry, Marty. Just 1 second.
Is the free deal only for bronze?
Sorry, Marty. Just 1 second, because this is such a crucial point, and I really wanted to tackle this. People, I noticed on the chat room talking about talking about Leica, and we use Leica as an example. Now, where are you on the spectrum? Are you at level 1 or you're at level 10? Because if you're at level 1, if you're just starting out, I would stay away from trademark terms. If you know what you're doing and you know the correct legal attributions, you know all the correct things to do, you have the right permissions, etc., etc., you can look at utilizing trademark terms. But you just have to be wary, and it's beyond the scope of this program to tackle. Okay, so just so you understand, a lot of companies love it when you create websites based on their brand, because it's doing things for their brand and for their models and so on. Products such as Botox, for example, do not like it when you use their trademark term in any way, shape, or form. So you've just got to understand my advice from our marketing spectrum perspective. Okay, that is very important. Okay, now, Marty, we'll just come back to you.
Simpler interface for a WordPress blog. And the whole point of it is...
I think Marty, I think just between you and I think Marty's been answering a bunch of questions, and unfortunately, we haven't heard that. So I'm sorry about that, Marty. I'll just get one of our crew to contact you to let you know. Sorry. Okay, let's keep going through some of these other questions, and we'll just get Marty sorted out. Okay, let's go to this camera. All right. Is there any way we can be sure we can get feedback on a matrix? It's hard to get the attention of mods or vets. Well, I think there's a lot of matrixy questions at the moment. So, you have to bear with people. There's only so many they can have a look at. So, cut them some slack, and people will get to the there's only so much they can do in one day, and remember, moderators' core primary task is to make sure that the environment of the forums is one that is encouraging, supportive, and makes everybody very comfortable. So that's their key element. Is there going to be special pricing for Market Samurai after this challenge? Can't answer that question. We do not promote during the challenge. I'm sorry. Do the transcripts transfer to the iPod, the PDFs? No, they don't. No, they're not. They do not work. What is the value of finding content with low authority? All content is useful, and the whole point of that Market Samurai module, and I'm not sure if you picked this up, but it points you to content that has already been indexed by Google. In other words, that Google thinks is relative to that phrase, and that's why it's so useful. Even if the PR or the authority on it is not that great, it could be even 0, it's still useful because at least you know that Google is looking at that page every now and then. I've seen a couple of slam dunk matrix where the SEOC was 50,000 plus. Is competition strength more important than volume? The SEOC trumps all. And again, it's where are you on that spectrum? Where are you? If you're just starting out, you stick exactly to what we're teaching you, okay? If you're level grade 5 or 6, I'd still stick to exactly what we're teaching to you because we want a result inside 30 days. What will happen, I'll tell you what happens when you start using SEOCs above what we recommend, is it takes too long to rank on the first page and indeed gets you high up enough in the listings for you to be able to for you to be able to do that. Does that make sense? It directly relates to speed. So in the context of the 30-day challenge, it's very important to keep under 30,000. Very, very important indeed. Now, and hopefully Rob or Nez, sorry, I can't quite see you on the chat stuff, but could you let Marty know what happened? Thank you. Okay. What if our micro niche is a pretty tapped market? I'm not quite sure what that means. If you're referring to tapped as in it seems to be tapped out, it's an old market or a phase market, that's not your issue at the moment. We're going through a series of filters to get to where we are in day 6 before we put up content. The market will tell us whether it's tapped out or not, or whether there's too much competition, if that's what you meant. So that's part of the market will tell us. We'll keep stopping from guessing. You don't have to guess. That's the point. Can you do your own theme with front page? Yes. Am I using front page? But yes, you can. But you've got to understand the guts of what's been done with WordPress Direct. There's so much work that has gone on to make those blogs work so beautifully well with Google. And the proof is in the pudding. 25% of blogs that were created inside the 30-day challenge hit the first page within 24 hours. You can't beat that. You just can't beat it. But far more importantly is what they do over the long term. And again, we look at last year's vintage electric guitars. It's very much part of that. It's still number 1 in a very competitive niche, much more competitive because of the core foundational work that is done, that is hidden under the bonnet. If you're driving a Ferrari, you just want to get the performance. You don't need to know the dramatic scientific detail of what's happening in every one of those 12 cylinders. Same with WordPress Direct. I'm still going through questions, and I've got quite a few. So if you've put up a question, don't worry, we'll get to it. Help. I need finding a micro niche. Everything I'm passionate about is too broad. Okay. I'd love that person to, if they feel comfortable, to put up their niche in the chat window, because I'll break it down in 35 seconds. You're just not if it's a market, by definition, it can be broken down. Was it dog training supplies? Are you serious? Was that it? Was that your question, Diva B? Don't worry, Caro, that's fine. No, I'm just sorry. I'm watching for the. Anyway, I'd love to be given it as an example, which would be fantastic, because I could break it down for you. Somebody's put up real estate short sales saturated. Really? Real estate short sales in Santa Barbara? Really? Real estate short sales in Atlanta, Georgia? Really? Real estate short sales in Montreal, Canada? You just got to think laterally, locally, detailing, and all of that sort of stuff. Which is dogs. I mean, it's a classic. Dogs, breed, dog training by breed, dog training by age, dog training by location, all of these different types of things. It's easy to break down. I'll just go to some more questions. Is it okay to do the AdWords advertise filter during the initial keyword research? No, follow the steps. We tell you when the appropriate time is to use everything, and the reason we do that is because there's a purpose for everything, as will be revealed tomorrow in what is going to be the most extraordinary day 7 in the history of the 30-day challenge. And we've had some doozies, let me tell you. You'll so see why we make sure you do everything in a very, very, very specific order. I can't tell you the amount of planning. I don't have the planning document here that Rob Somerville put together for the 30-day challenge. There has literally been 8 months of planning to scientifically test and make sure we put every single day exactly in the audience way that we need to do it. Right? So please just follow the steps and follow the orders. Caro's just told me I've got 45 questions queued. I'm meant to be having lunch with Pete Williams, sending over my auction items. Hey, do you guys think a Hasselblad would be a good auction item? Let's have a look. Will Traffic Geyser be involved with this year's 30-day challenge? No, it won't, but we love Traffic Geyser a long time. The only reason it's not is because that would involve videos, and videos is out of the scope of what we teach in 30-day challenge, as much as you all know that we love videos a lot. Question. Last year's themes were not that great. What, you didn't find one in the 15,000? Some of them had a ton of irrelevant built-in footer links. Yes, that's right. And they've been cleaned out. That was a trap that we ran into last year. And as you'll see this year, that has been sorted out. And again, as you go forward, we really recommend you use your own themes, which is great. Will a custom theme being uploaded hurt the program in any way? No, absolutely not. You should make sure you have your categories sorted out. But no, again, WordPress Direct does all the work for you. It works a treat. Trust. I know people who are literally creating 1,000 sites using a WordPress Direct theme, and they just do it beautifully. And a big hello to Michael Noon in there in New Zealand. G'day, mate. Marillion Project member. Well done. Let's see. How much did that vintage guitar make over the year, if you can divulge the numbers? It didn't make a cent because I hate AdSense personally, and so we took it off the site. Oh, actually, that's not true, is it, Rob? It does. Rob will hopefully ping me and like a few bucks every month, because there's a link off to Amazon. Certainly pay for it. I could sell it based on the traffic numbers and probably get about $500 for it, pretty simply. Oh, it made good money. There you go. See, I don't know. For me, it's about the journey. It's not what's over. As to quote Miley Cyrus, it's about the climb. It's not what's over the other side of the mountain. That'll take care of itself. Very deep, Miley Cyrus, let me tell you. Let's have a look. I've got websites up on Weebly.com. You want to keep those there. And, of course, as we go into week 2 of the 30-day challenge, boy, do we change up a gear when Michelle McPherson and Caro McCordy take over the 30-day challenge and teach us the hottest Web 2.0 properties that are working right now. And some of them will absolutely blow your mind and surprise you. So can't wait for that one. Let's have a look. What else we got? Question: is there a website that will check your domain name for trademark keywords? I think somebody put up a trademark checker, and we're missing Shannon Cole. Shout out to Shannon Cole, Master of the Links, who's currently doing military service in Canada. So well done, fellow Commonwealth, member of the Commonwealth. We miss you, but there is there are a number of sites which help you look for trademark terms. Let's have a look. Is there an advantage to having a category as the singular or plural for your theme keyword phrase? What does Market Samurai tell you? Usually, there is a difference between, as far as Google is concerned, the plural is different to the singular. But again, follow the steps. Samurai will reveal all. When you're salmon on Samurai, you will be able to see all. Question: will non-WordPress questions? Yes. Yes, we're doing it now. When the member goes to a free member account, my understanding correct that your blog turns off? No. Any blog that you create during the 30-day challenge does not magically disappear. That would suck. How horrible would that be? It would not. It would be a horrible thing to have happen. So no, they don't. They still exist. You'll be able to sell them if you don't end up doing that. It's amazing how many people went back to their blogs in preparation for this year and realized that they'd A, made money, and B, got all this traffic. So no, they don't disappear. I hope that makes sense. Good. Questions about WordPress Direct. Does it allow for customizing the blog? Absolutely. I like to think of WordPress Direct like a launch vehicle. You press the button, put in your keyword, put in your categories, hit your Google Analytics, press a button, and kabam, pow, there you have a brand new spanking WordPress blog. Still to this day, there is not a better enable and distribution system for a WordPress blog that is push button. It is superb. Once your blog exists, right, and it's on your own name and your own host, you can do whatever you like with it. You can customize it just as you do with any WordPress. I do all the time. We do all sorts. We change themes, we add new plugins, some multimedia stuff, all that sort of thing. It's a classic. Jason Moffat, ladies and gentlemen, in the chat room there, chiming in with the Iron Maiden. Look, mate, I'm sure that'll work. The dreadlock things eventually panned out for you, so well done. Let's have a look. Oh, I'm currently using StartLogic and they don't support cPanel functionality. Can I still use my web hosting to work with WPD? You need to check with WordPress Direct about what's required for supporting WordPress Direct installations. It's pretty universal and you do need to check that out. Maybe Marty might. I see Marty's in on the chat. He's killing it in the maiden niche. He's already owned. There we go. cPanel or DreamHost only. Thank you, Marty. Very good. Sorry about the whole Skype thing before, mate. I apologise. Okay. What is the relationship between host, cPanel, WordPress Direct dashboard? Again, my tubby nerd understanding of it, which is not much, is that having cPanel functionality enables WordPress Direct to be able to talk with your host with the right language so that you can install and upgrade your WordPress Direct blogs. Now, once your WordPress Direct blog is installed through using the cPanel system inside of the, but again, you don't have to worry about that. It's just usernames and passwords. Once that's happened, then you can use the WordPress Direct dashboard to maintain and manage your blog. And maybe other stuff. Think about that. Pete Williams, I'm going to be late for lunch. Okay, we did that. We did that. We did that. Is there a WordPress plugin in Article Rewriter? There are a bunch of different ones of those. In fact, yeah, there's... actually, can't mention it. Sorry. There are. Yes, is the answer to that. Minimum requirements to install. There is an FAQ, of course, on the WordPress Direct site for minimum requirements and all those sorts of things, so that you can see that in terms of your own host and check that out. Obviously, with HostGator, which we recommend, and yes, we get paid if you use HostGator, and that money goes straight to paying our mega Amazon S3 bill for serving up all of the videos and so on. So yes, as a matter of declaration, we do make some money if you use HostGator, and we bless you every time. There's another angel born every time you use HostGator inside the 30-day challenge, because it means Dan Rain can pay the S3 bill this month instead of having to go on tour as a Thai ladyboy. It was rough, and this is why we tried to use HostGator, because, you know, he's happy to do it. In fact, I think he secretly enjoys it, but, you know, hey, it hurts you nothing to use HostGator. They work brilliantly, good customer service, and, you know, he can, and it saves Dan from having to go on the road. Dan will do that anyway. Yes, you know him well. Been working on Firefox problems through the forum for a week now, and I'm way behind. Is it possible to get through the challenge without it? Yeah. I mean, again, we have to choose a browser to use so that people who are grade 1 can follow along exactly. You know, if you're using, you can use Chrome. I use Safari. I'm doing this broadcast at the moment. I am using Safari, not Firefox, because it doesn't have the overhead of Firefox, and Ustream seems to work with it better. You could use Chrome. The only thing you wouldn't use with this challenge is Internet Explorer. You know, seriously, why are you on Internet Explorer? If you're on Internet Explorer, I'm sorry for you, but we can help. Friends, don't let friends use Internet Explorer, and we're all friends here. Please don't use it. IE8, no, please. Seriously. You know, Firefox, Chrome, Safari, pen and paper, rock, chisel, all better than Internet Explorer. And I'm sad about that. I wish Microsoft would get their act together and just do a browser that just supports the standards which everybody else does. WebKit, for example. Do you need only 4 categories, or can you use more keywords? Is there a cap? No, there's not a cap. We recommend somewhere between 4 and 6. But the other thing I've got to ask you when you're looking at that, are you perhaps... Are there actually more than one keywords where you could create 2 blogs? It's something, again, where's your level of experience? If you're just starting out, just follow along. And if you've got, pick your half a dozen best, okay, and just follow along with that. But that's good. That is a good thing when you have more keywords. I love Microsoft. Seriously, it's absolutely true. I have an Xbox. I love the Xbox. Xbox is brilliant. Really, really good. Double thumbs up. So there. I like some things that Microsoft does. Does WordPress Direct work with Media Temple as a web host? Does it have one of those 2 systems? If it has one of the two systems, yes. If it doesn't, no. Ed, I have an issue finding micro niches. My issue is I do take the route of creating a high volume site and make dollars pay per click, or the more involved route to actually sell the product myself. What are you talking about? I do not understand what you're talking about. We're here at day 6. We're all about researching a market. What you've talked about there are 2 product types. One is using high volume traffic to make AdSense money, potential way of doing business. And the second one was actually sell the product yourself. They're product questions. The market will tell you what the product's going to be all about. Why outguess the market? The market's going to tell you. We are here now researching the market. So many people get caught in what product they're going to do, and it's a tragic, horrific mistake. You do not want to do that. You do not want to do that. Make sure the market. Let's see if the market's got some traffic first, eh? And then let's see if they actually will buy stuff from you. Let's do those things first, and then we can have a look at that. There are 2,000 people watching this. You're serious? Hello, everybody. I hope you're enjoying this. If you're new, make sure you check out that website. Is it possible to do a bunch of low competition, low traffic keywords under a larger key phrase with high competition? Example, real estate short sales in Georgia under real estate short. Okay, let's go all Sun Tzu. I think it's not Sun Tzu. I'm confusing my historical quotations. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. We use that 30-day challenge principle. People think the things that we're teaching here in the 30-day challenges, it's just for toy niches. It's just for little toy markets. It's just little toy. It's just so the little newbies over here can do something, and they, and it makes them feel like they're internet marketing, but they really aren't. That's not how it is. The exact principles that we're using. My $10,000 coaching clients do exactly the same thing, because the way to tackle a big market is to knock off all of the other little phrases and everything around it. So you've got this huge resource base to attack the center, and they won't know what's coming. It's Sun Tzu. If you tackle a fortress, you're going to lose a lot of men. You're going to throw a lot of resources. You're going to throw a lot of money. A lot of people are going to die. Do you want people's blood on your hands when you're doing a niche? No. So what do? You block off all the roads. You starve them out. It takes longer, but the results are far more effective, and you still don't ruin your resources, because it takes one bad fortress attack to completely decimate you, if that makes sense. Jason Moffat is recalling one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life, when he was Brittany Beers and I was showing him World of Warcraft, and he just kept trash talking and picking fights with people. It was bad. It was funny, very funny, but he kept having to be resurrected. Anyway, that was very funny. How can I How can I avoid losing so much time researching a keyword only to find out it has no market at the AdWords advertiser phase? Think about how long can you try break out your learning time from your actual doing time. You've got to remember, the first few times we do this, we're recording all of this. Okay, we're learning all of this. Okay, make sense? So it seems to take an inordinately long amount of time. But in truth, let me ask veterans on Market Samurai. Market Samurai veterans, how long does it take you? Let's hear it on the chat window. How long does it take you from walking out on the street, getting an idea, running home, and flicking open Market Samurai and samming, opening up a can of samming? How long does it take you? Let me ask people here. I know how long it takes for me to go through that entire process through to monetization, but I want to hear from you guys. Few minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes. 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes. Most people spend 7 months locked away in a room. Ask Dr. Anthony Fernando about this. Anthony has been doing niche markets longer than I have. He's been doing it longer than I have. And ask him one time. In fact, we'll get him on next week or something, and we'll talk to him about his first niche, where he locked himself away in the room. He took 6 months to build a product, only to have something tragic happen. So We'll save that story up. But think about it. You've just traded 10 minutes to save yourself a lifetime of work. And then you just start the new one. Does that make sense? Hope so. Oh, what is samming? Samming is the new hip term for the act of using Market Samurai. It also means something else on Urban Dictionary, but hopefully the boys have updated it by now. The challenge seems to be geared towards affiliate marketing. No. It is not. No, it's not. We use affiliate marketing to do one function, and that is to determine whether the market will buy your stuff. It is that simple. We use it now. Should you choose to go on and the market tells you that they're happy to buy affiliate products from you, brilliant. Keep doing affiliate stuff. But honestly, for me, I use it to test that the affiliate product will move the market, and then I make my own product. Because here's the thing I know about successful affiliate products. A tiny percentage of the affiliates of that affiliate product will make really good money. The majority won't make any money. But you know who absolutely makes the big dollars every single time? The person who created the product in the first place. So it's a staging thing. So no, we don't do that. Do I have opinions on AdSense? I do. Most of them not complimentary. It's a good system, but it's the lowest common denominator. Like, I just think you can do so much better through your own product or any. It's the for me. AdSense is last chance saloon territory. Make no mistake, 3 years ago, I've never seen so many people make so much money in such a short period of time using AdSense. But those days are long gone. Long gone. What type of suffix can I use for my domain besides article, info, blog, not available? I think you've got to be a bit more creative about your domain terms, because remember, it just has to contain your keyword phrase. It doesn't have to be blah. So to use the Leica example, trademark issues aside, you could use, my Leica M7 blog is one. My Leica M7 rants. I love LUV, my Leica M7. I'm hot for my Leica M7. I love my Leica M7 longtime.com. You really need to, you need to work that out. I think just be creative. The 7 to 10 articles we must write these days must be around the theme keyword only, or also around category words. It must contain the theme keyword, and it's a nice bonus. People obsess about the writing of these articles where they just shouldn't. Caro gave you a couple of key criteria. There are certain rules of, the headline, the first paragraph, and what's in it. After that, go for your life. Just always write something that you think would be useful to people. My favorite type of article is one where I talk about some cool site. Wow, I just went to I've got the hots for my Leica M7.com, and I couldn't believe the article where they were talking about how he uses this special cover that's made in Japan, which just makes the Leica M7 look fantastic. You really should go and check it out. Done. Article. Leica 7 makes me very good, Lisa. It's late at night for you, isn't it? Well done. Thank you for staying up. Thank you. Yes, exactly. I did a camera review with my Bessa 3. And if you check the rankings on that, you'll notice that ranked very high. It wasn't the purpose of it. I reviewed it because I love it. But as a side benefit, did you notice the rankings of that in that review? Very cool. I have 2 domains in the same micro niche. Should I work them both with the same content? No. And I thought we went into this, but you do have to. That's why we get you to create 7 to 10 articles. You need unique content. Google penalizes duplicate content. You don't want to have duplicate content for sure. People all snapped up all those domain names. That's okay. They're being funny. That's funny. I appreciate that sense of humor. Pete, I'm going to be really late for lunch. Ed, can you explain if WPD has any direct SEO benefits other than highly optimized SEO themes and Thisla? Would the SEO functionality of both clash in some way? No, not in my experience. For the ones that were talked to here, infrastructurally, WordPress Direct creates your blog, and indeed it preloads some plugins which are very, very effective. It's a matter of testing and testing out. Like the ones that we've all mentioned today work beautifully and are complementary. This is live. It's lunchtime in Australia. It's 12:15. I have a WordPress Direct. If I have a WordPress Direct bot on HostGator and then build a landing page with the same URL, will my new landing page replace the blog on the server? Only if they're exactly the same name and file name. But hopefully you've got, I love my Leica longtime.com/blog and I love my Leica.com/homepage, for example, or whatever it happens to be. Again, we'll show you that. Don't freak out. That's down the track. And we'll get there. Category questions, related keywords, but the keyword do not include the keyword in the phrase. Does it hurt? Help? Does it matter? It doesn't matter because remember, Market Samurai is taking the pain out of finding the words. Remember what we're talking about. Words that Google expects to see along with that main phrase. That's the secret. Now, there's a whole lot of debate as to what you call that. Latent semantic indexing, wearing a G-string for Google, whatever particular terminology used to describe that functionality, the effect of that is undeniable. And we've tested it over hundreds of thousands of websites. So it's an undeniable truth that Google looks for words that it expects to see. And the great news is Google is telling us the words that it expects to see. Does it necessarily mean that it has to actually contain the keyword? No, if it's not the same. Okay. Is there a difference significant between .com and .net? .com is favored in the United States compared to, say, a .net as a general rule. This goes to, and this question might have come a little way away, get creative about your domain name. Seriously, you need to do that. Just get creative about the domain name to get the .com. Oh, the person in Romania. Look, Jason Moffat has gotten very creative with his domain name. Exactly. In fact, that reminds me, I must wear the T-shirt on a broadcast. Let's have a look. Oh my gosh, am I at the end? Please. Not that I don't love answering your questions. Seriously, I do. Perform filtering in Samurai, but when I did a phrase match in Google, I got a much bigger result set. Is this normal? Absolutely. Because where Google, I don't know, again, just for new players, Google is not one huge tower of information. They actually have what they call data centers all around the world, and there are different Googles in different parts of the world. And you access different ones, you don't necessarily access the same one at the same time, and there are differences. Again, the analogy I like to use with all of this is it's like a guitar. When you're playing a guitar, you get used to a certain guitar, the neck, the frets, the strings, how high the strings are off the ground, the weight and gauge of the strings. Does that mean it's the best guitar? No, it's the guitar, it's the tool you're used to. Get used to using the tool, Market Samurai, and then usually what we're doing, we're never looking at a result in isolation. We're always comparing it with something else. And that's a very, very important concept for you guys to understand. We're always doing comparative results. Is this better or worse than the thing above it or below it? And that's a constant theme throughout using Market Samurai. And it's something you really have to get onto. It's not, I wouldn't say any particular data is exact for any particular period of time. Think about what Google has to do. Index the entire internet for every phrase. It blows my mind that they do this. Blows my mind. So there's always inconsistencies, but it's not inconsistent if you're doing comparisons. Because if one is significantly higher than the other, then you can be sure, regardless of the ratios and the data from various data centers and so on, the ratios will be right. And that's 19 times out of 20, we're looking at ratios. Years ago, we used to perform a Google Trends test using the term male yeast infection. Is this still valid for about... Hello? 21st century. That is so old. I mean, Market Samurai completely replaces all of that with much better information, much more useful data, much more accurate. So, yeah, we love the Google Trends test, and it was such a clever discovery by Rob Somerville and Dan Rain. It really was a revolutionary thing way back in 2007. So, but seriously, that is, as somebody, Marty said, very good. So 2007. It's 2009, folks. Things are much easier. Okay, my question was why my site wasn't seeing the traffic I should be getting according to Market Samurai. I'm getting 2 to 10 a day instead of 3,000. Well, I'm assuming you've just started, because the fact that you're getting some traffic. But remember why we're testing. All of this at the moment is testing, because often after all of this, you'll find that the actual traffic is not the same as the traffic that Google suggests, because it's Market Samurai passing that information on. You'll actually get. That's why we test, and that's why we're testing. You've also got to very much keep in mind, where are you? I'm assuming by asking that question, you're number one in Broadmatch. Because if you're not number one in Broadmatch, then there's no point answering that question until you get to that point so you can compare. So again, you'll be in the region with a standard deviations difference when you're at the number one spot. Okay. According to me, Caro, that is all the questions. I'm going to give you a chance here on the chat room. Yes, Brent's there. Very good. Thank you, Brent. Will the Q&As be posted somewhere for future reference? They are on Ustream. Yes. But I worry about people watching the Q's and A's because, in a sense, there might be 50 minutes of it that is not useful for 3 minutes that are. But we're putting them up this year as an experiment. We'll see how it goes. Raphael asks, Leica-digital-camera.com or Leica-digital-camera.org. What's better? It's whichever one you get more backlinks to is the truthful answer to that. But for the purposes of what we've told you to do, .com. Can we meet Ed in Melbourne? We will have a meet-up in Melbourne at some point during the 30-day challenge. I've just got to figure out. I've got a mate's 40th birthday up in Beechworth next Friday night, and I've got a mate's photography exhibition the following Friday, so we have to figure it out. Must talk about meetups in the next live show. Must do that. All right. I think we will call it a day. Thank you so much for being part of it. Again, we've had at our peak another 2,000 people, which is quite extraordinary. Really appreciate you asking the questions and sticking with it. It's a big achievement to get to here. It really is. So make sure you check it out. I've got to rush off and get over to have lunch with Pete, and we will speak again soon. Have fun. Keep punching. Don't stop believing.